The following presentation is part of the Beyond the Blast Doors network.
Hey, happy Friday night, everybody. How's it going? We are live here on Beyond the Blast Doors Force Connect. I'm Pete Fletzer. I'm here with Josh, the man, the sunglass guy, and our special guest host this evening, Rayven. Rayven, how are you doing this evening? I'm talking to you first before Josh. Ladies first, and you're prettier than Josh. No offense, Josh. You're a beautiful man, but Rayven's got a little something on you.
How's it going? Disagree.
How
it's
are
going
you?
well, thank you.
Excellent. Excited to have you tonight. Excited to have everybody here with us tonight. We this is like this is the show that just keeps changing and growing and getting better every week. It's an opportunity for us to all hang out. I'm looking in the chat and I see Matthew's with us, of course. Matt from Enid, Apprentice Ewok, Rick Villanueva, and there's a bunch of other folks that I can't. All Remaining Systems is in there. Good to see everybody tonight. You know, we're going to, if we can get that number up again, like we did last week, we'll give away another action figure of some sort. But you guys have to inspire me to pull something out to give away. Josh, how was your week, man? How's it going?
Pete, the week was great. Things are happening in the Star Wars world still, as we're kind of in our hiatus in between, you know, whatever showed up on the screen during the investors conference, which was very important to all of us. At least for
as if we were investors, as if we do invest. We invest
we invest a lot into Star Wars, aka Disney, I guess, and
just zero return, unfortunately.
Well, hey, there is a lot of return, and the return is in the chat, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. I'm on a high. I have no idea why. I mean, I'm not high, but I could be. I could be.
We don't know.
We don't know. 5 minutes, I'll figure it out. But this is exciting. We got some cool topics we want to hit tonight. You're gonna throw up for us. We've got Rayven.
I'm gonna throw up for you. Yes.
Yeah, throw up for us. But we've got Rayven. I don't know what else do you guys need. We're gonna talk Star Wars. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. Like, share, and subscribe. You know the drill. And let's just chill on a Friday night. Rayven said that before the show. She's like, it's a Friday night. We'll do whatever we want, and that's what's gonna happen.
Friday night.
Have a drink.
I've got my sunglasses on. I can't see anything. It's great. Let's go.
I didn't know we were supposed to wear sunglasses. Now I'm mad.
No, just me.
Just Josh. It's me. Just a Josh thing.
Just you.
I've got an eye stigma. Before we get started, though. What do you got? Let's get a drink out.
Yes. Here's a little drinky.
Poo.
Cheers. Cheers to everybody in the chat hanging out with us.
Everyone, relax. Get your webcams ready.
Yeah.
Get ready to answer some specific questions, and then get ready to get your asses force pushed out of the room. We got a show to do here, all right?
I just pushed up the link, so if you're thinking about calling in now, before you call in, maybe we should share with you what we want to talk about. There's been a couple of things that have happened over. There's a couple things we're gonna change up the format just a little bit. We're gonna put out some of the things that we've been watching, and we're calling these topics Disturbances in the Force.
I felt a great disturbance in the Force.
Many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very true that, and this, so what we're not going to do the news. The news exists. If you want our news, you go watch us on Wednesdays with David and those guys. This is going to be, we're looking at things that are happening. What are people talking about in the Star Wars universe? And the first thing that I want to throw out there is earlier this week, Lucasfilm Games announced not only are they no longer going to make EA the exclusive, but they're also going to be opening up that license to multiple groups, multiple companies. And they unleashed that there's going to be an open world Star Wars game, and there's going to be an Indiana Jones game, and who knows what else is going to come up the pike as a result of this sort of this change in exclusivity for EA. So any thoughts from you guys on that before we get started?
I guess I can throw out. I mean, what what was wrong with EA? I guess we need to say that. So if we don't look at this from a monetary perspective, where LucasArts, or I call them LucasArts, Lucasfilms games. Sorry, LucasArts was what they were, right? But like
it is.
They're pulling it back. They want the money. Mm-hmm. Do we feel that EA handled the license of Star Wars properly throughout the years? I mean, look, let's be honest. EA just put out Jedi Fallen Order. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yep.
And Squadrons. Awesome. It seems untimely for me. It just seems a little like, and maybe, you know what? Let's not be crazy here. This didn't happen like last week. And then like, you know what? Let's get it back. So we know that it's been going on for a year or two, right? Or at least maybe a contract ended. I don't know. We don't know the dealings here. But I just want to know, like, if EA saw this coming, why did they do their best games at the end? and part of me is just a little disappointed. EA is a giant, gaming company. They produce high quality games. They've got massive franchises within the gaming community, and they just lost a massive name. I don't know how much I agree with that. I just don't know. I don't know that Lucasfilms games.
Yep.
Are they going to do as much with the gaming, side of things as EA was capable of doing?
It's interesting, and I'll throw it to you, Rayven, in a second. But it's interesting to me. You're right. They did just between Squadrons, between Jedi Fallen Order, they created 2 fantastic games. But it might have been in that too little, too late, right? I'm sure these conversations have been happening for a while. And on the other hand, if you look at it as a licensable thing, and if you look at Star Wars as a genre, the ability to go to some of these guys who are fantastic at open world games, people who build some different types of games than EA does, and also make some competition. What's the incentive for EA to create the next great game other than losing the contract? So
right.
But I'm excited to see it go. Rayven, are you a gamer?
I'm not really a gamer, because honestly, the last time I seriously played a Star Wars game, it was Masters of the Terra, whatever the heck it was called, way back in the way back. Like, I mean, but seriously, my first video game was Pong. So let's, just take into account that I'm clearly not a gamer and never was. I love watching other people play, and I'm really, really good at Tekken. But other than that, like, cannot help you.
Well, maybe there'll be a Tekken Star Wars game now that they're now that EA.
Well, that's what that one was. That's why I played it. I was like, "Oh, a fighting game! I'm in it."
I remember that game. And in fact, did you pick up? This is the one of the. I was gonna say one of the few nerdy things I was gonna say, but Jesus, it's a Star Wars podcast on a Friday night. Did you pick up on the reference to it in Solo? Kira says something about actually the in the third act of the film. Kira,
I think actually I do recall it, because I know there was something where someone said something and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, and then it went by and I completely forgot about it. But I can't say off the top of my head that I remember, but I haven't seen Solo more than maybe like 4 or 5 times, so I haven't quite reached the memorization point yet.
All right. Okay.
Well, we had a good statement here from All Remaining Systems. He says EA had started to get good at the end, but Battlefront 1 and the launch of Battlefront 2, there were some missteps. I mean, sure, but we're also talking about cross-platform, not cross-platform, but dual platform, multiple platform launches, where you've got different software you have to do different. You've got live Xbox Live, you got whatever PS4 is, you've got and then PC. I mean, I think there's always going to be missteps when you're trying to go with a massive online game. That's what that was. That's a big first person shooter. I think that now Battlefront 2 has garnered some respect. It's still being played by a lot of people. Still being streamed on Twitch and all that stuff, but and they're still adding content. I'm just a little concerned that maybe a partnership with EA. Look, let's be honest. I don't hate that Lucasfilm games. Gosh, I'll never get it right. LucasArts. I'm saying LucasArts.
They just pulled back.
I'm marking it down every time you do it wrong.
I'm gonna do it right now. LucasArts.
Did somebody I think somebody at Lucasfilms forgot to renew the URL. It's so they're like, we're not doing that. We lost the copyright.
Now look, I respect Apprentice Ewok, aka Brandon's take. It's so any take on gaming I'm going to listen to. So he says EA has struggled, in my opinion. Franchises like Madden, FIFA and Mass Effect slowly decreasing quality over time, EA was just milking the cash cow. I don't disagree with that either. I guess I want to ask, like, there's some ancillary games that are Star Wars licensed. That, like, what are the state of those games? One of the games that I thought of in particular that I actually partake in heavily, or I used to, I don't as much anymore, is Galaxy of Heroes, or which is just massive for a mobile platform. It's a big game. It takes a lot of money, but their subsidiary is Capital Games. And so what happens to those other games? And we didn't see that in the what do they call that? The sizzle reel.
No, we did not see that in the sizzle reel, did we? I mean, yeah, I'm not sure. So yeah. Interesting. All right. So we got the Lucasfilm game things, and that's one of the things you guys can call in on. The second thing I want to talk about, if you don't mind me moving on to the next topic, is end of last week, beginning of this week, the boys over at Kessel Run Transmissions, Noah and Corey, dropped their latest scoop that says essentially the story of the extending, or I don't want to call it the sequel to the Rebels thing. Maybe that's what it is. Either way, they're going to bring the Rebels story to the Ahsoka live action show, and I'm not sure that everybody thought that was a great idea. I thought it was a really interesting way to go. I loved Rosario Dawson playing Ahsoka. I want to see more live action Ahsoka, and I want to see live action all those other characters. And so that's my take on it. But how do you feel about it, Rayven? Have you have any particular feelings on seeing the end of the Rebels show or the extension of the Rebels show in live action?
I'm much more likely to watch it if it's live action. For me, animation just doesn't, to borrow from the Buttercream Dream, just doesn't hit. So I'm all for live action at any point. So that really excites me because I think it's something that'll help bring me into it. But of course, you know, I realize I'm not the only person watching. I know a lot of people really enjoy animation. And the reality is in animation, you have a lot more freedom as to what you can do. You know, I mean, you know, it's a lot harder to make a real life thing look the way you can do it in animation. So personally, I'm excited because I think it's going to give me a chance to really be able to enjoy it. But at the same time, I know that it's disappointing for people who want animation, but I want live action. So sticking to it.
Stick with it. What are your thoughts, Josh? Where do you come down on this?
Some of my thoughts are, why are we fixing what isn't broke? The animation Rebels, it fills a certain genre, and I'm not trying to disagree with you here, Rayven. I'm just kind of playing a little bit of devil's advocate here. Like, why? Thank you. Why? You know, the Rebels series was very popular, and it kind of ended, and then people were wanting more. Obviously, more would have had to been another story, which, by the way, was brought to us via The Mandalorian and bringing Ahsoka back into it. I don't know. Look, live action. I want to see Rosario do whatever. She's awesome. She was so awesome in The Mandalorian. I'll watch her do whatever in live action, and I'm excited about that. But to say that that's an extension of Rebels kind of seems like we're missing something. Like, we could have still had, you know, maybe an Ahsoka live action that goes on, and then a Rebels, you know, animation to complement it. I think that the animation was cool. It also fills a different genre when it comes to kids. You're also pulling in that new category or of Star Wars fans by giving them something they can identify with that's a little less stressful on their minds, right? You know, I mean, we know kids like animation. I like animation, but I do know that when I was watching some of that animation, I was like, whew, all right, let's get through it. Let's follow the story, because like you, Rayven, I do appreciate maybe some realism to it. So I'm a little on the fence with this one as far as it being called a Rebels, you know, continuation, so to speak. I feel like, okay, you could give us both right now, and you could actually, in a very crazy way, have Ahsoka bounce back and forth from live action to back to animation, and it might be very intriguing. It might keep some options open. Obviously, we know with live action, there's only so many things you can do. We could do a lot right now with the volume, but you know, with the volume, the volume's so cool. But we can also do a lot more with animation. And so, you know, like I said, I'll stay on the fence. I'll take anything they give us. However, Was it necessary?
But and I can't wait to hear what people call in with on this one, because I think it's interesting. But I'll add to that. I think listening to what Rayven said, I think is what drove the decision, right? I think I you guys know I always refer to my dad, right? My 70-something-year-old father, who he's never watched Clone Wars, and as much as he loved Ahsoka in Mandalorian, I don't think he's going to go and watch Clone Wars. So I think it's if it's live action, it reaches a broader audience. But if we're going to go to live action, and we'll lead into, we'll start opening up the lines for calls. If we're going to go to live action, there's 3 characters that are going to need to be cast. You're going to need to cast Ezra. You're going to need to cast Sabine, and you're going to need to cast Thrawn. And I wasn't the only one who was asking, but a lot of people started throwing this out as a conversation. I don't know if you guys have given it any thought. Who would you want to see take on some of those roles? I'm going to throw it to Rayven first, because she's smiling like she's got an idea, or she's smiling because she has no idea. It's one of the two.
That's
either
me.
way.
It's both.
It's both.
I like to be variety. I'm not real. I don't have a real strong opinion on Ezra or Sabine as far as somebody that I'm like, oh, this person needs to be this, this character. But I would find it hard to find anybody as awesome, in my opinion, for Thrawn as Lars Mikkelsen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because I just think that he has, he's just got that thing, that some of those people that play bad guys quite frequently do, but he's got it for real. You know what I mean? It's kind of like bringing back, Tarkin or somebody who actually embodies that evilness, and that, well, evilness maybe isn't quite the right word. We don't want to, tar anybody with a brush, but let's be real here. We're dealing with somebody that's a little less than sugary. So
yeah. And I love what you're saying about somebody who's been in those shoes, right? He's been in those shoes. That's why, I still think, to me, the voice of Thrawn is always going to be Mark Thompson from the books.
Agreed.
But Lars did such a great job with that as well. So he was my pick. And I went with Taylor Gray for Ezra, who was Ezra in the show. He could be the right age. It would be great just to have him back. But where I deviated a little bit was on Sabine, and I went with Olivia Munn. I just think she would be great in whatever she might happen to be in. But I can see her, I'd love to see her in Sabine's armor. And
I've got to agree with that take. The only issue with Olivia Munn is maybe she's too tall. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they make short actors look tall, so I guess they can make tall actors look short, right? But
fix it in post.
When you're talking about tall for a woman, it's always relative. You know what I mean?
It is.
I mean, a tall woman doesn't look terribly tall if all of the men around her are 6 feet tall. If she's 5'9", which is, pretty tall for a woman, she doesn't look that tall with those guys.
Well, if Ezra is played by Tom Cruise, we have an issue.
Agreed.
That's right. That's what I'm trying to say here. All right.
Well, not only that, but Lars Mikkelsen is,
is he short? No, right.
But I think that could work, and also she has the real life, nerd cred to step into that. Something, somebody isn't going into this going, okay, well, this is how the paycheck is going to go,
right.
And because she's got that real interest in and that real involvement in it. So
I think that's why Rosario worked so well, right? Because she was fan casting herself for a while. Josh, have you thought about who might fill these roles?
So let me. I've thought about one and one only, and that is Thrawn. Okay. The other two, I know we all love Thrawn, and I'll get to Thrawn in a second, because I'm just going to say a really quick statement on the other two. The other two, I'm okay with new actors. I'm okay with new, people we haven't seen before, which Star Wars is famous for providing us with. I mean, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, and go on, right? Go on and find some other, I guess even Pedro Pascal in some way, even though he had a Game of Thrones, kind of a small part. But I'm okay with some new actors there, some new blood coming in and giving us a vision, of a character from a perspective we haven't seen before. But Thrawn, I got to go backwards. I'm going to go backwards, and this is a person that will never get cast for Thrawn, but could get, because not unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunate. What's the right word? Because of nature, he might be a little long in the tooth. Okay. But I just kind of see in the blue makeup and the slick back hair and the perfect cheekbones, Willem Dafoe as Thrawn, and I know that's out because
the Green Goblin.
He's got crazy teeth and a crazy wild eyes, but if you make him red, you're fine, right?
That's just the thing. He looks terrifying, though. You got to have somebody who can still look not terrifying. And Willem Dafoe, as much as I love him, can't look not terrifying.
All right, you maybe just like Rayven. I'll take it where it's due, but you might be right there. But
I'm saying
he's an actor. Look, he was told to look terrifying. All right, he can hold it back. But when he brings it out, watch your ass. And then I did want to put something up there because I think I saw a comment. Hold on, and I wanted to say this because somebody else is commenting it. Hold on, I'll find it. Man, the comments are rocking right now.
Rocking, baby.
But the comment was Thrawn is misunderstood, and I think that if you've only watched Rebels, I agree with that statement 100%. If you've read Timothy Zahn's books, Thrawn is not evil. He's not evil by any stretch of the imagination. Right. He is only doing a duty to progress his protection of his species, the Chish or the
Chith. Yeah, and that's a great point because evil, is blowing up a planet because you can, right? Right. Tarkin was evil. Tarkin was like, you know what? We're going to try this thing out on her planet. That's pure evil. You never see you and I'm trying to think right now. You never see Thrawn doing something vindictive. If he's killing people, it's for a reason. Right?
Thrawn is all tactics. It's all tactical.
That Tarkin was blowing up planets for a reason too.
What did you say? What was that?
I would say that Tarkin was blowing up planets for a reason too.
Tarkin was blowing up planets for power.
For power.
He went to an extreme that we're not used to. But, fear drives people. That's a very, very big motivator.
Josh, I think perhaps having Rayven on the show is a little bit scary.
She is scaring the hell out of me. She's Willem Dafoeing my ass right now.
This might have been a mistake.
That's why you brought me here to Willem Dafoe, everybody.
But no, I would say through the books, I actually, and obviously a author or anyone can put a character in whatever light they want. But Thrawn, to me, was always very resistant. He rose through the ranks very fast. He got the Emperor's attention.
Yeah.
But he always made very, I guess I could say morally sound decisions on whether or not he was going to do this or that. As a matter of fact, to the detriment of his, of what the people around him thought, because he would win battles without destroying a planet. That's the Thrawn I understand. And so I get that. So it's actually disproving my suggestion of Willem Dafoe because he's just too evil.
He's pure evil.
He's pure evil. There's a GIF for that. I know it. I've seen it, and it exists. It's real. So I can't disagree with you anymore, Rayven. But I still think Willem Dafoe, rest his soul, is
he dead? No, he's
not. He's not. Just maybe his career. No, I don't know.
Oh. So we've been rambling for about 24 minutes. Should we bring in our first caller? Who do you want to bring in?
It's a call-in show. Let's bring him in.
Yeah, Josh, I'll let you choose.
All right. We're gonna go with let's bring him in. I don't know. Oh, this guy gave him so much shit last week. We'll see how he does. Hey! Wow, he's raised the camera higher. At some point, it's just going to be a Google view of you.
Wait, where are you guys? Oh, there you are.
Just a camera. How tall are your ceilings?
They moved the surveillance camera because they didn't want to see what was happening on the screen.
Jackson lives in a cathedral. He's just you keep raising them up.
Of Black
Put
Series
on top of the organ.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How you guys doing? Can you hear me all right?
We can hear you great.
I'm good. Okay, great. No, everything seems to be fixed here today. So
So far, I mean, it's early.
I'm really confident about getting through this this podcast tonight. Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Thanks, Jackson. Thanks for joining and let us know that.
I'm gonna be here for you. Yeah. Goodbye.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. So, Jackson, which one of the of our disturbances did you want to comment on, and what do you got?
Well, I actually, it's funny. I'm of the mind. I'm a little bit of the mind that Rebels should have been continued in, via animated series.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you know, I got into Rebels because of my son. He's going to be 15 in about 2 weeks, and
well, happy birthday to Jackson's son.
I know, right?
Yeah, Engineer Junior.
Yes, he's much smarter than me. Thank
I don't
God.
think he's allowed in that basement, though. I'm pretty sure.
No. He still isn't.
He's holding the camera right now. Is he like 8'10"?
The age limit.
I got you, Dad.
Yeah. You know, so he got me into Rebels, and I was kind of the same. You know, I'm an older guy, and I had the same kind of thought process about the animated series as Rayven does. But I really, you know, I gave it a chance, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm kind of, I think about that found family that was developed by the end of the series. In fact, actually, it prompted me to go back and watch all of the Clone Wars. I had only made it through like a few seasons before. So, you know, I'd like to see that happen again. I'd like to see the story from Rebels continue via animated, but I'm a fan. I'm gonna accept whatever they throw at me. I would like to see Lars get cast. I think William Dafoe. Oh my God, where did you come up with that, Josh?
Hey, come on. hey, look at those.
What do the kids love? The kids. What do the kids love? They love really intense teeth with like blaring gums. The kids are gonna love it. The focus groups, you know, the 4 to 8 demographic is going to go out of the room.
Look, they've never seen Willem Dafoe. They've never seen a real man, a man with some cheekbones, a man that can take his eyes and make them bigger than the world. I mean, come on. I'm going to put this out there to the chat right now. If any of you have any Photoshop skills, or at this point, just any app you can download on your phone, I want you to make Willem Dafoe look like Thrawn. Make him blue.
Oh my God.
Prove my point.
No.
And if you could put an extra 20 pounds on him so he doesn't scare me to half to death, that'd be good too.
Everybody watching, don't do that.
Defoe hate in the room right now. Yeah. Defoe hate.
It's not Defoe hate. It's Defoe
fear.
Yeah. Now I would almost cast him in a more. Oh my God. But there's no Photoshop in that picture. Absolutely no alteration.
Fix it.
If you could play Joker with no makeup,
come on.
Hashtag Defoe for Thrawn.
You've got to use that one. You have to use that picture.
Take the challenge, folks. Come on.
Yeah. I almost think that it would be actually funnier or more, I don't know, acceptable if he were to play like an absolute good guy. Like I feel like Thrawn is all right.
Defoe for Ezra. Defoe for Ezra. I'm good.
Ezra, you seen some shit.
Or Sabine. I don't care. Put a wig on him. All right. Hey, we're in the times right now. We can't tell.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh, I just silenced Jackson.
The audio's gone.
It's all right. All right. So you agree, or so your opinion is that you wouldn't mind seeing some more Rebels animation, which I think is fine.
Yeah.
But like you said, I'm a fence setter on this one. Where anyway we go, I'm good if we get some live action. Ahsoka carrying the Rebels franchise forward seems a bit disconnected since she came in, you know, as Fulcrum and went out, but maybe she pulls him back in, right? We get another look.
Well, she showed up at the end of Rebels, so I think she's part of that search for Ezra. And people who are dismissing this as her story, you know, you could argue in a way that Star Wars, a good chunk of Star Wars is as much the Skywalker saga as it is the Ahsoka Tano story, right? I mean, she's been there from the Clone Wars. And now we've seen through to the end of the Empire. So just one nerd's opinion. Just
well, yeah. I mean, what? You've been dying to hit that drop.
I was waiting.
You made your own. You made your own.
I made my own hot take just so I could freaking use
your own lukewarm take, so you could just hit that. And just that was a hot
that was a tepid take. We need a drop for
tepid now that I was going to say something that would qualify as a hot take, and I just haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, bring it.
We now know that we have the resources to hit the button.
Should I hold on to something?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Probably the ladder your son's on.
Just grab this the monitor.
I'm an environmental health and safety professional. I just want to make sure he has a guideline and a
a little OSHA in the house.
Wait, this seems to be exposed. Let me just put my finger.
Yeah.
All right. Quick, Pete's dying to hit that hot.
I want to hit the hot take button.
I don't have a hot take on this topic. I'm just saying.
Oh, you have one.
Come on.
All right.
I do have a couple of comments about the.
Did you just kick her out, Pete?
I kicked her out. She set me up. I was so ready to hit the button,
and then you just remove.
I'm like, sure, I'm gonna force push her out. She's done.
No. I did want to talk a little bit about the games.
Yeah.
I think if you look at some of the more successful, smaller publishing companies like Insomniac. Banged it out of the park with Spider-Man, and they've I think the consensus is that the follow-up game Miles Morales is right up there in quality, and some people actually like it better than its predecessor. I think there's a benefit to having all eggs in one basket if you have a vision, but I think. It's kind of nice to see, as Josh said, LucasArts games,
film stuff,
mega global telenetwork back together again.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I joked about this online. I really did get some. I did have some Maniac Mansion flashbacks. I don't know. Does anybody remember the old Scum engine? Zach McCracken. Oh, come on, Rayven. How old are you? Don't tell me that. Don't answer. I know. I already know. No. Yeah, I like that. I like the Monkey Island game. The old Indiana Jones games. I'm interested in seeing how that plays out. I do think that it's funny. It is funny, as Josh mentioned, that the last two titles were pretty damn successful.
They're freaking awesome.
I love Fallen Order too, and honestly, I'm an old crotchety gamer. I had a tabletop Pong when I was a kid. A coin operated game.
It's called ping pong.
No, it was real Pong.
Oh, to hell with physical activity.
No. I mean, come on. You think I get like this by exercising? Come on.
We can't see. It's literally a satellite image at this point.
You guys have to speak up. I can't hear you.
Hello.
Yeah. I actually the massively large shooting games like Battlefront 2, I tried to get into that. I know there are a lot of people that love that. That wasn't my biggest. I enjoyed some aspects of it. It was a little bit unwieldy for me, and I've actually tried it on PC and PlayStation 4, and it didn't stick. However, I love Fallen Order. I loved the single player story based games. I like some of the characters in that. I still think about in the same capacity that I would think of characters from either the animated or live action series. Like Trilla. Trilla is fantastic. Like her story of falling and then redemption is fantastic. No spoilers. And then Cal Kestis is a great character as well. And BD1 is the best boy.
And we do have it on fairly good authority that Fallen Order 2 is on its way, right? So, and I hope it does include Trilla, and I think it will, and I think they're going to.
And maybe we're not really addressing the issue because we saw that with Indiana Jones, with Lucas Global conglomerate films, arts,
super hype and mega
game systems, is bringing in Indiana Jones and it's Bethesda or Bethesda or Bethesda. It's whatever. So they're like that is a big. So obviously there's some publishers that are being licensed for that. So are we seeing the last of EA? We could probably say no, right? Because maybe EA does still get the tap for
sure.
Let's figure, let's do Jedi Fallen Order. They have it, and Squadrons 2 and Battlefront 3.
That's the freedom that this new way of doing it gives them. They can give stuff to EA that they do well.
Hold on, before you go on, let's bring in an actual gaming expert.
Should we get rid of Jackson first?
No, we'll leave him in there because we can't see him anyway. It doesn't matter. He's way down there.
It's true.
We'll leave him in because maybe some back and forth.
Right.
From over the pond, our very own Shannon.
Shannon, hey, how are you? So good to see you.
Welcome, Shannon.
Hi.
Okay, I know that you're chomping at the bit to give your take on this. Okay. Go.
I'm excited. Yeah, like I'm actually came in just to the show at the perfect time. I was like, are they talking about gaming stuff? And then I was like, oh, they are. Great.
Now, for those of you listening, Shannon's talking very quiet. It's about 4 a.m. where she lives.
Oh, wow.
She doesn't want to wake up the rest of
so
the
respectful.
Don't want to wake anyone up. All right, go on, Shannon. We're all listening intently.
God, is it really that bad?
No, I'm joking with you, but I do know that you're trying to keep your voice down.
Yeah, no, it's funny. We actually have like something on scaffolding that's like waking up the whole apartment building. So I'm just like, ugh. I think it's very interesting that, like it said, Lucasfilm Games, because that was a big, I think, tell like that first day. And it's crazy because it's like I tried to write an article and then like the last 3 days, it just keeps being announcement after announcement after announcement. So, of course, we had the whole speculation of, is that it? Is EA done? Blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, they're supposed to have it until 2023. I really don't think it's done. And then, having Bethesda's trailer for Indiana Jones, I'm excited. Open world Star Wars, like, give it to me. Just give it. I'm ready.
Give me Star Wars Skyrim. That's what I want. Star Wars Skyrim. I'm good.
Or Indiana Jones Skyrim at this point. I mean, it's we don't know. We don't know what we're getting from that. I know, Shannon, you and I talked offline. You were thinking more of a Tomb Raider or a Uncharted type of feel. I mean, that would be, I think, pretty cool. But if we had an open world Indiana Jones, can you imagine? You just put snakes everywhere and you got issues.
That's like you're out of bounds.
I hate that.
Snakes and Nazis, and you're good.
It is a shame because, like, I heard a lot of people kind of making videos and saying, "Oh, you have to have Harrison Ford do the motion capture and the voice." I was like, "Voice, yes; motion capture, no."
Not at
the man. Bless him.
No, that's like cruelty.
Why does Indy have a hitch in his walk?
Right. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, no disrespect to him. The man's a legend, but it's like,
I think we might hear the voice. That's not a bad take.
The voice would be should be Harrison.
That's not a bad take. Hit it.
Yeah, here we go.
Is that the hot take? All right, hold on.
Get the button ready. Get the button.
You heard it here first. Harrison Ford will voice the Indiana Jones character in the upcoming Bethesda Indiana Jones video game. This is verified.
This is I've heard it.
Decided.
Well, I just heard it from 2 people, so it's
it's got to be true. It's got to be true. Is it on the internet? Then there you go.
It is now. I'm going to go tweet it.
Hold on. Just a second. We need to check in. Jackson, how are you down there?
Everything's okay.
All right.
We did take a little damage on that last hot take, but I've adjusted the shields.
So has anyone heard that? I can hear him. All right, Shannon, you're back. Here we go.
He looks like he's in the space station.
It's amazing. His room keeps getting
looks
bigger.
like we're looking at him from the space
At some
station.
point, we're gonna have to have LucasArts Films make a game of his room.
There's an open world environment.
Open world. You can just run around that thing for days.
Oh, yeah. Man,
we should be good for the rest of the day.
Yeah, your kid's arms are strong, I'll tell you that much, standing up there on that ladder.
Yeah. Steady. Very steady.
Steady.
I told you a whole dollar if you don't drop that camera, kid.
Wow. I want to add to the Harrison Ford discussion. I think, and I love Harrison. I love you. I know you're not listening, but I love you.
He is. He
never misses the show. He never misses.
What the hell's a Jackson?
Of course he does. But I would say that while his walk is somewhat distinctive, as somebody who pays quite a bit of attention to body language and body movement, he doesn't have anything in very particular that sets him apart. I think any motion capture could probably do a perfectly fine job. Like I said, his walk is pretty distinctive, but that in itself could be learned because the reason he walks the way he does could easily be learned. So I would say no, he shouldn't be doing motion capture because he is, God love him, 55 years old or whatever. And
that was a wink. Who'd you
see
wink
that
at?
wink? It came in my direction.
Did you wink over your left shoulder at the caricature of Harrison Ford? Is that what you did? Did you just give him a? Do you tuck him in at night?
It wouldn't be the first.
I'm sorry, sweetie.
But I don't think it's necessary for the motion capture. But I think he would be necessary for the voice.
Interesting. I don't mind that. Like I said, it was a hot take already. You heard it here first. Rayven did confirm. This has been 3 people that have now confirmed that Harrison Ford will be the voice. I can't say that anymore. Somebody's going to clip that.
we would like somebody. If you're watching, go tweet that you just heard on Beyond the Blast Doors.
We can be dead wrong.
Hey, that doesn't stop any other YouTube shows. It just throw it out there.
Right?
Anybody can.
It's going to be Mark Thompson, is it? He's going to
Mark Thompson. He does a good Harrison Ford.
He does a great Harrison Ford.
I'm going to play Harrison Ford. Okay, that's the way this rolls.
All right.
Watch me go.
All right, Shannon, we know you're running on fumes and a bit of alcohol. What else do you want to add to this?
She's going to get in trouble, guys.
Yeah, we go, Josh.
No one, nobody but Harrison Ford watches this show, so you're going to be fine.
I would say she's drunk.
I'm not, but hey, do you know what? I mean, Jackson pretty much was saying literally everything I wanted to say right before I came on, so I think he's covered it, and yeah.
Somebody hit that button now, huh? I was right.
Doing a little dance.
That's my new favorite thing in the whole wide world right now. I'm not even kidding you.
I went full 0 here. Just as the comment below.
Oh,
you play the hot take thing for I don't know what number it was, but whatever it was, that's when Josh turns the hat around. Whenever.
Oh, okay.
That was the number, the magic number. I'm going to go back and watch this episode so I can count, so I know.
Hold on, I know we've got younger fellas in the waiting room right now. Please turn your hats around as best you can, for no other reason than the comment below. But yeah.
Wait, you have to present it like this. Yep. We now know that Harrison Ford will be
okay, hold on. We're going to bring in, I think... Should
we make some room in here? Should we force push a couple people?
Oh, we might push ourselves out of here. No, we're not going to be that way. We like the community, whatever. Hold on. Hit that hot take for me. It's just funny. It's just something I find funny. It's not his content. It's just his hat.
It's his hat. That's exactly what it is.
Hat. You can say talk about my sunglasses. They're ridiculous. It's nighttime.
Can I ask you a procedural question?
Yeah.
Who has control?
Hold on.
Who has control of the button?
We'll never tell.
Okay. That's a lot of power right there.
Yeah, well,
that is a lot of power. Heavy is the head that wears the backwards cap.
Oh, Shannon just left. She's just like, I think that's we'll call it.
She's out.
Instead of a force push, we'll call that a force pass out.
There you go.
It's fine. It's fine. All right, Jackson, it's been great viewing your hometown from above. So I can't wait to talk to you later.
Rest assured, I'll be working on this for the rest of the day.
Actually, instead of your name up, we should have had your coordinates up. I think that would have been easier for anyone to understand.
Please don't disclose those.
Say hi to your kid for us. I'm sure he's a giant young man. And Pete, for the first time tonight, I can't believe it's taken us this long.
Yes.
Let's get rid of this guy. All right.
Bye,
Jackson. We love you, bro.
See you later.
our force pushes are getting so intense. I mean, it's literally half the show to get someone out of here.
Well,
I'm crying right now because Qui-Gon just got
next week we're going to do the entire Duel of the Fates for the force push.
Every time you get force pushed out,
5.5 minutes of it.
Yeah, just that whole scene. Yeah, that's great.
It was intense.
All right.
All right. Who's next?
We're going to bring in ARS. Actually, let's bring these two guys in. I'm going to bring in two at a time here. All right. I may be jumping the gun.
No, you are living on the edge.
You've got 50 people in line. You've got to start.
That's true. You got to move quickly. You got to move quicker.
By 50, I mean 2. Here they are. We got ARS Michael. What's happening?
What is happening, dude?
Hey.
And of course, these guys. Have you guys ever met? I'm sure you've chatted together. And
have you guys been in the show together at the same time?
Hey. What's up, guys?
Actually, Michael, I'd like to introduce you to your brother. I mean, at this point, it does look Michael, it seems you took the hipster road and your brother is out shooting a wild boar. But other than that, you guys are very close. The similarities are amazing. So,
I think we need somebody, and probably it's usually Matt who does some interesting Photoshops, puts me in like Pete Fletzer mode. I'd like to see him take Galanorian's beard and put it on Michael.
If it was 2 years ago, it would already be on me. So,
Galanorian Systems and Michael Saber.
That's my name.
It's like Face Off. All right, you two, welcome in. Let's start with. We're going to start with Michael. Michael, we're going to put you in the hot seat here. What topic of the 3 force disturbances do you want to talk about?
I was going to talk about the gaming disturbance.
Do it. Yeah, bring it, man.
I was going to say that I am totally in favor of EA not having exclusivity on the license. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but it's
everybody.
You want it to be because we can.
I was going to say I don't think it's a hot take, really, because EA has been rated worst company in America on numerous occasions. I think I just wanted to elaborate a bit on what I said in my comment, which is both the launch of Battlefront 1 and 2 were such
they're messy
disasters and huge controversies, especially with Battlefront 2 and its microtransactions.
Microtransactions was, and I honestly can't believe that the Star Wars license allowed that to happen. Like, I'm still surprised that they're like, we want to experiment with microtransactions on Star Wars. I think that was I think
it was specifically because of Disney that stopped before the game launched.
Wait. Don't. That sounds a little too Disney positive here. Wait. Oh,
all right. No, sorry. I gotta.
What are you, a shill?
Shill card
come on, shill. You mean Disney did something right?
Yeah, you're right. I should stick up for EA here. No, but I think while Squadrons and Fallen Order have been very good, and I have loved those games, especially Fallen Order.
Yep.
I think it was such a huge misstep in the beginning that we can give them room to work with what did work, like Fallen Order, maybe someday get a Battlefront 3 or something like that, but also let some other people do some things with the license. I'm very much looking forward to an open world Star Wars game, and just I think it'll be a good chance to see different types of games as well. That's sort of what I got on it.
All right. I like your take. I mean, I can't disagree. Here's the deal. Look, we live in a certain times right now where forgiveness is probably something we should embrace. I'm saying if a gaming company like EA, who like totally admittedly misstepped on a couple of high franchise games, like these are blockbuster games coming out, but then comes back with a Jedi Fallen Order. This is where I get a little confused. Now, like I said, the take could be right now that like they're still going to have licensing, like Shannon said when she was in here before she passed out. That they're going to carry Jedi Fallen Order. EA is huge; they're huge. So look, we know everyone's trying to make a buck, right? And especially these larger gaming companies. And I already mentioned Galaxy of Heroes. They nickel and dime you, micro transaction you to the end. Like we're talking, to get a premier character in that game. Listen to me. By the way, how much did you pay for Jedi Fallen Order?
$60.
$60.
Yep.
Right? $60.
$60.
You'll pay $40 for the game of the year in a year. But which I don't know if that's true or not. But you can pay $2,000 for a premier character if you want to build them all the way up to their top level. So I mean, microtransactions are a thing. So for them to test it on a gaming platform is actually not as far-fetched as what they were experiencing on the mobile platform. The mobile platform provides an easy access for somebody who's got their card connected to the account to say add, and it's $5, $20, $15, $50, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think that it wasn't too crazy for them to do that. I do think it was greedy, and they've been called greedy left and right. And
I think it's the way they set it up. Like if you if you play in a free game like Galaxy of Heroes, it's a free game. And going in that you're going to have to pay to advance. And that's why anytime I see a game is free, I'm very very apprehensive to even get involved in it. So I don't think you're that far off. But to try to do it under the Star Wars franchise, under what was this giant game that they've been hyping for so long, I think it came across and felt really ugly. And I think
insulting.
It was insulting, and you're trying to and you were paying a premium price. I mean, even for all intents and purposes, I'm actually shocked that there isn't any pay for play opportunities with Squadrons, because Squadrons came out at $40 versus $60. It was a more affordable game, and there's a hell of a lot of opportunity to pay for stuff for the game there. I mean, I always think of the Fortnite thing. My son will come to me every fourth day and be like, hey, there's a new skin I want. I'm like, dude, I just spent $19 a month ago for you to get all the skins, and now it's like, no, I need this skin, I need that skin. So I'll tell you what, if you could give me some cool skins for my A-Wing, I'm gonna buy it. I don't know why, but I'm gonna buy it. So I think there's an opportunity to do that there much more than Battlefront, especially at that time. It felt like a weird time to do it.
I think the reason that they didn't do it for Squadrons was because the backlash was so intense for Battlefront 2.
Yep.
Because like their response where it was like, oh, we want you to play 40 hours of the game to unlock one hero because it'll give you a sense of pride and accomplishment. And it became the most downvoted post in Reddit history. Like,
right. Yep. Hey, before we go too deep, I did get a very interesting and very thoughtful tweet while we were here, and it came from our good friend Semper Fi Danny. So I just want to share it with everybody here. It's heartwarming. She did it. She throned him. Thank you, Semper Fi Danny. I'm sorry I had to interrupt this great flow of the conversation, but I just
he looks pretty bad though. He looks pretty bad, and I mean, the bad is good kind. The Huey Lewis bad is good, not bad is bad.
Right. So sorry. Back to the gaming conversation.
Amazing.
But thank you, Semper Fi. That was beautiful.
It's amazing. Semper Fi Danny, you are my new hero.
Yeah.
You should get on the show so that you and I can lock in Defoe.
Lock in Defoe. So Galanorian, what did you? So okay, that's thank you, Michael. I love your perspective on that. I think there's so much going on with this EA stuff and the Lucasfilm Games Arts thing. That's where there's going to be some excitement, I think, over the coming time. Galanorian, what did you want to check in with us on?
Well, I mean, I agree a lot with what my brother just said there about EA and everything, but I think it's out of necessity because we're living in a time it's extremely exciting to be a Star Wars fan. I mean, you remember we all remember what happened, with at the Investors Day when they announced, like 10 new shows. I mean, we have a saying, here in Arkansas that if you don't like the weather now, then just wait a little bit, it'll change. And because it varies, so much. And so we're getting to the point now to where if you don't like a certain part of the Star Wars timeline, you can just wait and there's something coming out, somewhere else. I mean, we've got High Republic, like before the OT, Mandalorian era. There's so many eras of Star Wars that are being explored right now. It's almost too much for one like publisher to keep up with.
Yeah.
And so I think it's out of necessity, but the variety of Star Wars stories that are being told today in order to kind of explore that gaming market even more.
Well, and you think it makes sense.
And also to explore new chances with gaming, right? To try different types of gaming that we haven't seen so far from Lucasfilm games.
I did that. I apologize.
You ruined it for us.
I did.
But I think there is something to be said for that, because at this point there are differences, and maybe you do want to create a game, but your market is not going to be your EA market, so you can take it to a smaller, company, developer, whatever, and you can look at maybe testing things out that way. Again, I'm not a gamer, but in business, the smartest way is to have more people distributing your product. Mm-hmm. And in certain lines, you're going to have different product. You're going to have different types of product. You're going to have niche product. You're going to have product everybody wants. I mean, that's just good business sense, regardless of if it's video games or t-shirts.
Well, I think
in my case, animal nutrition.
I think that's one of the smart things that they're doing with this. I think it's really actually a very smart idea to do it, because it does allow that. And look, if EA drops the ball again, they're covered. If they're well,
they're covered by other publishers. In full disclosure, I have no problem. Yes, these people. No, bring that from Matthew. You put that back on the screen. You put that back on the screen. You tell me how this doesn't work. You tell me how this doesn't work. How doesn't this work?
Thank you, Matthew. That's beautiful, my friend. That's beautiful.
That is terrifying.
Exactly, like you described Thrawn. Thrawn is terrifying. He's a tactical master. Look. All right. I mean, God dang, that is the best. That's why I asked. That's why I asked. That's what I was looking for.
All right. I want to apologize to Lars. I thought I made a good argument.
Oh yeah. Now you're seeing the truth. Or maybe you're going to start the hashtag Defoe hell no Thrawn.
Hell no Thrawn Defoe. There it is.
Hell no Thrawn Defoe. No. But I say no like Thrawn Defoe. I did want to bring up one point. Never mind. That's long past. I was just going to do you said there's famous. For one thing, I was shocked that there's famous sayings in Arkansas. Galanorian. And if
we may actually be brothers, because I'm also in Arkansas. So.
Wow, I am shocked. You are.
We may have a live breakthrough happening here. On
Hold on, guys, we got to put them next to each other, guys. Oh, damn it, guys.
There you go,
guys. Hold on.
Who do you think you are?
Look.
Yep.
Oh, could be.
All right. What's your mom's name? What's your mom's name?
Martha.
Oh my God, you couldn't be more in Arkansas. All right, what's your mom's name?
I just wanted to make a BBS reference.
That was a Batman versus Superman joke. That was very good.
Oh, so good.
So seriously, do you guys have the same mother? Because I'm a little
doubtful. Unless you're originally from Georgia, then maybe.
I don't think that helps.
I didn't say that. I want to be clear. I didn't say that. I'm not
there are so many Southern jokes that I'm really holding back on because I'm a Jersey guy.
I just love that there's famous.
Being from Arkansas, we've heard them all before.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard this one? If you haven't killed 2 boars, there's always one more left. I thought that was the most famous Arkansas comment or a famous statement. Yeah.
When he said we have a saying in Arkansas, I burst.
I was like, "Oh, plug ears!
Apprentice Ewok giving big vibes from Minnesota. Whoop, whoop.
Look, at one point we were like, let's make this like a live talk radio type show. Let's have fun. And then I realized now we're like a Maury Povich show. We just brought two brothers together.
We brought two people together.
Join us next week for the DNA test.
If we do one of those, I absolutely have to announce it because I guarantee you I will wait just 1 second longer than people can.
And your mother is.
Recite the preamble to the Constitution.
Yeah. Martha. Well, guys, thank you for your takes. I think we got good takes on everything. I don't know. I think you guys had good takes. I was so blown away by you guys being brothers that I lost all. I can't. I just can't wait. Okay, well, without disclosing like your exact locations, how close are you guys to each other? Numbers? Yeah, how close are you guys to each other?
I'm in the Little Rock area, so
and Gallinorian.
I'm in Northeast Arkansas, about 2 hours away from Little Rock.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Separated.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this: does your mom have a car?
Clearly.
All right, boys. Thank you so much.
I'm done with him.
We've got a few more people in the wings. Hold on. Let's check in with our satellite image of Arkansas. What's going on down there?
Guys, I'm sorry. Something happened. It seems that we duplicated the feed. You might see two of the same. I apologize. I'm working on it, guys.
All right, done. Well done. Our man on the ground, way down on the ground. Thank you, Jackson.
Underground.
All right, Saber and Michael, whatever you guys call each other, brothers. We're gonna force push you out of here, just like your mom did. Let's go.
Oh my! I don't know if anybody else is having fun, but I know I am.
My face is starting to hurt in the best way possible. I'm enjoying myself thoroughly.
Oh my god, I love that. You know what I love? I love those guys and the sense of humor because that could have gone horribly wrong.
Nah, that happened about 22 years ago.
You think they're 22? Because I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not. We don't know. We don't know our demographic around here. I just thought it was freaking 50-year-old beard guys like us, but whatever. We got beautiful Rayven with us, so that throws the metric way off. We don't know what's going on.
But speaking of 50-year-old bearded guys, I think we have another caller. I'm gonna bring in our next caller. We call him the Beard because look at him. Look at him.
Oh, there he is, man. He keeps getting bigger.
What's up?
What's happening, man? How are you?
I'm excellent. How are y'all tonight?
I don't know. You tell us. It's been a weird night.
We're doing good. What state are you from, so we can make fun of it? What's going on?
Well, if I'm here to do my good deed for the day and make the boys from Arkansas feel better, I'm from Alabama. So
what? Oh no.
How did our Josh? I don't know how our demographic became like Southeast United States.
I'll tell you how that's the salt of the earth down there. I'll tell you that.
That's right.
That's where the good food comes
That's where
from.
the good food, good
music comes
That is
from.
true. The food is good down there. It'll kill you.
You got Framey in Alabama too.
That's exactly right. That's right. We had a good Patreon call last night, and had we had the entire South represented from Louisiana all the way on over to.
That's right.
It was great. It was a lot of fun.
Jerry and Baton Rouge, a little bit of South for everybody.
Yeah. Yep. So how you doing? What do you got for us? What do you think on those hot takes? Well, not hot takes. The disturbances. I think I've abused the hot take button a little bit.
I feel like you
might have lost its edge. We'll have to sort of reset it for next week.
Take that button away from you.
Yeah, like by reset meaning cut off your index finger. Yeah, that might be great. Yeah.
And the next step The next step is going to be the GIF that he just uses on Twitter all the time.
All right, you know you're from Alabama when you say GIF. Good God.
Is it a giraffe or a giraffe, Josh?
Look, is it? I don't know. What you might be right.
That's okay. I'm not right about this even in my own house. It's fine.
Thanks for joining us, Mr. Milky. What do you have for us, you beautiful bearded man?
I'm going to hit the fan cast for a minute.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm surprised we haven't had more of that. But yeah, go for it, man.
And I don't know if I've heard anybody say these. I think I've been listening since the beginning. Ezra, and I think y'all follow and have seen him on Twitter. Raul Cooley.
Yeah.
From the Haunting of Bly Manor and all that stuff. He's done some hardcore self-fan casting trolling for Ezra. You have to watch one of those posts a couple months ago. I think it's great, and I like his sense of humor. I think he would have fun with it. I think that could be something that would be cool. I think for Sabine, I would actually love to see Taya Sircar take that on. She was the voice. I think she would also be excellent to bring that character to live action. And then I guess, and don't push any buttons, Pete, but my hot take about Thrawn, you don't need the graphic.
I'm waiting.
Well, it's only a hot take because he's been a huge baddie somewhere else in a.
Yeah, sorry, I jumped the gun. I was so excited.
Pete's got.
Hey, listen, that's never happened to me before. Trigger finger.
If your hot take button lasts more than 4 hours, you need to see a doctor.
That's for sure.
I don't know about lasting 4 hours.
Put that on a NASCAR.
I'm sorry, Nick.
No, you're fine. I really think we talk about the personality, the cheekbones, the ability to kind of carry that stature that Thrawn has. I think Cumberbatch would be fantastic, and that's only problematic because he has been Khan in Star Trek. But I love Benedict Cumberbatch, and I think he would destroy being Thrawn. I think. Do you know
what I called Cumberbatch earlier? The young Defoe. The young Defoe. So I think you're absolutely right. Cumberbatch is in. Young William Defoe. I'm right. You're right. We're both right. Put the graphic back up, Pete. I want to see. Yep.
Oh my God.
I mean, just insert Cumberbatch there. It's almost uncanny.
I'm surprised Matt hasn't done that yet. I'm waiting, Matt. It's been 14 seconds.
No, you're not. All seriousness, you're not wrong, Nick. That's a good. No. I'd say good. They can't afford him, but that's good. I mean, they can afford him.
Well,
but
and I didn't suggest him because I'm such a Benedict fan that I'm like, I suggest him for everything. So I just
but you're not wrong. So you should go with it.
But here's my position on it. I don't disagree. I think he'd be great, but I feel like he's kind of overdone at this point a little bit. Isn't that
Josh?
Yeah.
Like he's overdone for a reason, right? It's like if something happens a lot, it's because it works. But I don't know.
No, Pete. Let me back you up just to defend Nick here. If Cumberbatch is Thrawn, you're gonna piss your pants.
Oh yeah, I love it.
That is awesome. It's absolutely right. It's almost as good as Defoe. It's exactly where we need to go. I love it. I mean, I'm talking about young. I'm talking about young Defoe. Young. Put up Semper Fi's is.
Oh yeah, I gotta find that one again.
Look at that one. We need Last Temptation era Defoe from the mid to late 80s.
Yeah, before his teeth separated.
when he still had abs, that kind of thing.
When he still had something in his face beyond tendons, like just
tendons and teeth. That's right.
Tendons in his face.
Well,
I mean, just put a little something.
And so with Cumberbatch, I wonder if it's the possibility to be, I don't want to say redemption. He doesn't need, he took a beating kind of, and so did all of that movie when he was Khan. That Khan was such an iconic character for Star Trek fans, that reboot, the way they did that, there was a lot of, stress and people kind of irritated by that. I wonder if this is a chance for to do some other big, bad, same kind of gravitas, same kind of, character. But then the other question is, what about Hiddleston? I know Loki is a thing, but like Tom Hiddleston could pull off a Thrawn too, maybe.
I like Cumberbatch better. He's got beady eyes.
Like
he doesn't have those beautiful, perfectly set eyes like Defoe does. So I just am like, I don't know if it just doesn't match.
I'm growing more concerned about your obsession with Willem Dafoe, Josh.
You haven't seen my bedroom.
Hey, I'm happy he's on Dafoe and leave Benedict for me, man. I'm here.
I mean, look at that. Look at that.
But I think though, following in on that though, I think Benedict, did, I mean, yeah, what you said about Khan, 100% true.
Yeah.
But I like the idea, conceptually of Tom Hiddleston. However, there's a distinct warmth to Tom Hiddleston that
That's right.
push and prod and be the amazing actor that he is never goes away.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And Thrawn doesn't have that.
Yeah, I don't think that really mixes with the character, even though, as we were saying, evil is not the right title, but you need somebody who can actually be that ice cold, from root to tip. And when it comes to that, I mean, are you going to find better than Benedict Cumberbatch? If you're looking for someone to be completely cold and yet still believe it,
Yeah.
Because we've all seen him when he's not working, but then we've seen him as Sherlock, and we're like, "Oh, is he wretched and horrible?" Oh my God!
Maybe better than him. Yeah. Who's the dude that was in the last couple Alien movies? I can't remember his name.
Was he?
Fassbender.
Fassbender.
I feel like because his interpretation of Steve Jobs was kind of Thrawn-like, right? That kind of finger on the mouth, thinking kind of. I think he could pull that off. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, and he is able to shut off the twinkle too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, and y'all said it earlier. The thing with Thrawn, I think you were talking about Thrawn versus Tarkin, like Thrawn was all power and fear in the moment, like immediately, like it was constant power. Thrawn, somebody said it in the chat, Thrawn is tactical. Thrawn's whole thing is he's willing to lose some battles along the way to win in the end. And so that means either a loss or letting somebody feel like they're winning, and then he pulls back and retreats to turn around and go learn about them and do. It's the long game, and I think that talking about Cumberbatch, he could absolutely embody that.
Interesting
mindset.
You bring up a really cool point, and I think that is that there are not many Imperial figures that are willing to wait to win. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They're all. I mean. You could even go so far as to be, blatantly obvious and go into like Empire Strikes Back, and Ozzel was so hell bent to get down to Hoth. He pulled Metal Lightspeed because they wanted that win. They want the win. And Thrawn is like, I'll take the L here because we're gonna get the bigger win over here. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what makes him such a great character. And I'm concerned about how they're going to bring him to life because in the books he's so great, and he was great in Rebels. But he was a level below what we got in the books. When you read Thrawn in the books, you just you go into his head. It's really amazing.
Well, and I have not kept up with the newer Thrawn books. I've heard how good they are. I've read most of the first one. But for me, the origin of Thrawn was Heir to the Empire and those three books. So then to get that Thrawn realized probably most fully for me in Rebels and a little bit of that first Thrawn book, like the transition is there, and they have the art thing where he's studying art. They don't go into it as much as you would in a book, but like that Thrawn in the Heir to the Empire and those old EU books, like that was the uber calculating. There was one part where there was an attack on something, and he basically said, "Stay back, let's see what they do, let's take a little bit of a loss and learn from it." And that he was all long game throughout the whole thing.
Well, hold on. Zahn wrote all of those. He wrote all 6 of the books. So this is what I like. I implore you, everyone out there, especially you, Nick, go read the new Thrawn books. You'll get a different perspective, because I read them all too. I read Heir to the Empire, and then I read the new stuff. Thrawn is a specifically unique character. The only issue I have with Thrawn showing up on screen, even in Rebels, is that and Pete just said it, he is below the book character. He is too powerful of a character to portray correctly without some backstory. So if he just shows up, I mean, if Thrawn shows up and kicks some ass or whatever, fine, and then goes away. But if we're trying to do a Thrawn story, which we're not, but maybe we are if Ahsoka is going after Thrawn. It's very in depth, and remember, he's not fighting for the Empire. He does not work for the Empire. He works for the Chiss. That's it. His whole deal is to keep the Empire out of their domain. So, and really to infiltrate and be a genius.
Which says a lot about him, that he's willing to, he's going to join the enemy to keep the enemy out. That's a unique position, right?
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool. Yeah. And all Zahn. This is all out of Zahn's head. And then and then we get a little bit of it in Rebels, which is obviously picked from that storyline. But yeah. All right. This has been a great talk. We've had this is great. We got Obi-Wan in here. We've made fun of at least 2 Southern states.
Yeah.
Right. That's how it goes. I live in the Northwest, so we can talk about granola or Bigfoot, whatever you want to do.
Is there any chance that we can get Scotty in so we can make fun of Louisiana over there? So
yes.
yes.
Well, and I was going to say Jackson's all riding high tonight about
no,
how well
he's not.
doing.
Look how far down there he is.
Well, he's riding low. I'm sorry. Correction.
Let's go.
But here's the test.
I'm sorry, sir.
Here's the test for Jackson. Where's Jerry tonight? Where's Jerry?
Well, we had his pattern in the transporter, but
and he came up a pile of goo. Is that what happened?
Where'd he go? Jerry?
He just disappeared.
If he brings Jerry, the Cannon Junkie, back,
on screen,
I'm going to shit my pants.
Yeah, he
tried. I'm working on it, guys.
It's not that.
I just don't have that kind of power. I'm sorry.
Right. That's right.
Nice try. We appreciate it.
All right.
You're doing a good job, sir.
He's doing great. All right, Nick, we have to, and you deserve it.
I absolutely deserve all of it.
Force push your ass out of here.
Here we go.
Let me say this. So when Pete and I,
you left him here.
Oh, you're losing your force.
Anyway, sometimes it doesn't have to be that dramatic. That was just like a done with. Yeah, I didn't know he's still here. I actually tried to do that with the force, the real force, and it didn't click my mouse button.
Man, you got to spend a little bit more time on your meditation. So.
I know, right? I know. I got to sit on a rock for a while. Let me just say this. When Pete and I first talked about the concept of this show, we were like, how can we bring people in that support us and that love us? And then how can we just demean them and shove them around?
That's been the premise. It's like how can we have an abusive relationship in a YouTube channel?
Right. Like, can I bring like anybody in and just be like, you're stupid, and then kick them out? Can I do that at any point that I want to?
No.
Right. No. I don't think he's stupid. I just like want to make him feel like he's stupid, and then boom.
I love you, Jackson.
And say, we're not saying we don't love him, because God knows we love him. He's the best.
And then not only does Nick leave, are you looking at I'm gonna bring him back. I don't know. I don't know why he's done this, but I do want to let you know that we bye. I mean, this is the show this is what we thought of. We're like, we're gonna have people in the background that put things on that have satellite images of their room, and also that are just great people. Let's bring on our next guest.
Yes, speaking of great people, there he is. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good.
Repping the furry guys.
Nice.
Wait, that's a totally different sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, depends on where you live. Arkansas.
I got a furry guy.
Oh, there's a furry guy.
Oh, the furry.
Now, what's the cat's name, Rayven? Sorry, we're ignoring him.
Shadow Cat.
Oh,
what's his name? Feral Cat?
Shadow Cat.
That's way.
Her name is Shadow Cat, and she really likes the microphone. All of a sudden, she knocked it down, and she's tearing the house apart. Yeah, she just came up to visit me, and she was talking. Sorry, go ahead.
Brandon, welcome. You're in the hot seat. You have 3 topics that you can talk about. Talk about one.
Fan cast.
All right, good.
Okay, here we go.
Yep.
Do it.
Obviously, I think with Ezra, I got to go with Taylor Gray.
Love Taylor Gray. Do you think he can do it? Do you think he can do it on screen? Do you think he looks enough like the character?
Yeah. I mean, if you can find a picture of him where he's got like slightly shorter cut hair, I think he could pull it off just fine. But watching him on the Resistance broadcast a little bit ago, he loves that character, and he totally got into Star Wars. He took like martial arts classes with Freddie Prinze Jr. and
wait, what?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
like Freddie wasn't teaching him, right?
Right.
Okay,
No.
I was just checking.
No.
Sorry.
But and then he just talked to Dave Filoni about the character, and I feel like, yeah, I mean,
okay,
yeah,
I was bringing that up. Okay, Brandon, that's a good
Oh,
take.
okay.
It's not a hot take like Pete's hot on the button, but we won't take that as a hot take. I'm sorry, Brandon. I'm sorry.
You're good.
You
As
said
a matter of
hot
fact,
take.
you know what? We'll just make it official. Everything you say tonight is going to be a hot take. Go. All right, except for that.
All right, sorry, Brandon.
Okay.
Hey, Gannon, how are you? Saying hi. Just okay. It's up. I had to say it. Go.
Next for Sabine would be Jamie Chung, who was Mulan in Once Upon a Time.
Jamie Chung. I don't think
bringing
She
her
was
up, too.
also in Dragon Ball Evolution, so
We don't need to talk about that.
Oh, that was my favorite
We're not
movie. What are you
talking
talking
about it,
about?
I'm just informing the group.
I think that Dragon Ball Evolutions was the embodiment of everything that Dragon Ball wanted to be.
Wait, are you serious, or are you just?
No, I have never heard of that. I just was hoping you'd hit the button, but whatever.
I remember being so excited about it.
Sorry, I was too busy bringing this up. That's
Like
Sabine.
imagine her with short hair.
Yeah,
Like,
I see that.
Very
Okay,
Sabine.
okay.
Yep.
Why not?
Sure.
Yeah.
She's Sabine.
Yeah. And then Thrawn, which
Yes.
at this point Thrawn would be older. I don't know how much the
Like
Chiss-
Willem Dafoe older.
No.
Don't put that up. Don't stop. We can't put that up anymore. We're losing viewers every time you put that up. As
Please
soon as
don't.
you put that up, one viewer leaves.
Losing viewers
Yes,
and
every
sleep,
single
by
time.
the way. Losing sleep when I see that.
Don't put it up. Go ahead, Brandon. Sorry.
A little bit older, right? I don't know how the Chiss age, but Ian
Pete,
Glenn
before Brandon.
from-
Oh, damn it.
Oh.
I was going to say, Pete, before he talks, they're both going to be younger than us. It's going to be younger than both of us.
No.
All right, go ahead.
No, Ian Glenn from Game of Thrones, and he plays Alfred in like the Titans show.
I don't hate that.
The cold, calculated
not a
British
bad-
dude.
He was
That's
a
not a bad
Lannister.
call.
He was a Lannister. No, he wasn't. He was.
No, he was,
Braun. Not Braun, but the knight.
Jorah
He was the
Mormont.
knight. Yeah,
Jorah
Mormont.
Yeah.
Mormont. That's right. That's right.
Jorah. Yeah.
I like that call. That's actually that's a good one. That's a really
Yeah, I
good
can't
one.
argue
You know
with that
what?
one.
Thank God, Brandon. Hit the freaking button, Pete. You heard it here first. Mormont from or Ian Glenn from
I like that.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah, it was announced here first on
Yeah, and it's now been it's been
now
said by
official.
2 people. So
Yeah, I believe he's pretty tall. I think he's like 6'2", 6'3".
yeah.
That's
Yep.
good. That's good.
Cool.
All right. I
Are
think
you
have-
looking up his measurements right now?
Yeah, he's 6'1".
Okay. Okay.
And I mean he's British, and I think he
Right.
could get
Bonus.
the
I mean, with Shannon in the room, great.
Right.
She's not
Um,
British, but she lives there.
right. I think he could nail the
In
Thrawn
Britishville?
type voice.
Right.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
But isn't you know it's fine.
No, go ahead.
No, hot take. Come on. Don't you want your own hot take, Raven? Come on.
Nope.
Come on, you need your own hot take.
I'm curious
No.
now.
I'm saving my hot take for later. I was just gonna ask if he was the guy who was in the Resident Evil.
Yeah, he was.
Just want to
Was
make
he
sure I was
resident or
remembering it
evil?
correctly.
Yeah.
All right.
What about this guy? I'm going to throw a guy up, Brandon, while I got you here. This guy named John Tague. He's an actor who's like the only reason I bring him up is because when I posted my request for who would you want to play Thrawn, somebody volunteered him, and then he volunteered himself.
Oh wow.
Okay, hold on.
Well,
You heard it here first. It's John Tague. He's on our screen. We support him because he replied to you. What happened?
Well, he's going to be on Around the Galaxy in a couple of weeks, actually, doing his pitch as well.
Dude, then we support him.
We're all in on John Tague. I think John Tague,
100%.
All right, we'll start a hashtag later.
Pete, hold on. Can you and I just talk real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Our show, just no one watch.
No, except Harrison Ford.
That was a perfect time for you to hit the damn button. You've been hitting too much. All right, never do that button again, please, because it's terrible. But I mean, if.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So
I'm
now
gonna
we
get yelled at after the show. Everybody.
We're in trouble. But it's all right. We're at 124. As my partner Andy would my co-host Andy would say. Well, I actually
it's close. I love that. I love that.
Far off. It's not far off. I'll be with that guy for life. We're at a minute 24. We're at a minute 24. So yeah, but
I feel bad for Brandon. This has been the worst guest on.
No, Brandon, you've been doing great.
He's been doing great.
Look, Brandon, what I like about you is that I know where you're at in your room. I can see you. It's obvious. There's no reason for me to believe that a drone might be viewing you. So yeah, it's just a good. All right. Brandon, do you have anything else you want to add? Do you want to talk about the gaming scenarios or
I could do that too?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just one comment. What's like your just one sentence, like bleh.
Excited to maybe see different types of games. I tweeted out earlier, real-time strategy, and then like a fighting game, like Masters of Terras Kasi. I had that on the original PlayStation.
There you go. You and Rayven.
Yeah.
Look. I mean, we have it, but do we? Do we have to have that talk, buddy? Do we? All right. I'll talk to you.
You know what? It just struck me when he took his glasses off. He looked a lot like James Hetfield from Metallica.
There are worse people to be compared to.
No, that's true.
Thank you, Rayven. Like Willem
You're welcome.
Dafoe, perhaps. Or yeah.
That would be bad.
Pete. All right. Brandon, we have walked all over you.
Sorry, but you know what? We will commit to 30 seconds of silence and let Brandon give it.
Brandon, as your parting gift, what can you say that I won't say anything and Pete won't graphic over?
At least I'm not Jackson.
Oh.
Why?
Hit the button.
Oh, all right, Brandon, that was your 30 seconds. We're gonna force you out of here. Look, here's what I love. This is called the witching hour right here. Okay. Because we go an hour and we're going to talk about these topics. We got cool graphics Pete made all day. And then it just falls apart. We start. Brandon, I'm sorry you had to be here while this happened. But
I do want to say this, though. Follow Brandon on Twitter, and because he's got a Twitch stream, which is really great. And he's a lot of fun to play squadrons with, and he's building up his YouTube channel. So follow this guy. He's a fun guy, and you guys all know that. I'm telling people who see you every week, and they already know this. But we really appreciate you hanging out with us. We absolutely do, and we're sorry we shat all over you on this particular episode. This was a mess. I apologize.
Brandon, is Brandon okay with this? You just said we shit all over him. He's fine with it. He's like, you know what? All right, cool with this, Brandon. Brandon, at this point, I'm going to allow you to force push yourself out. Go for it. Pete's been hitting the hot take button all night. You can't get the force push. I mean, you've got one job, dude. You got one job.
It's not the hot take button though. That
Hey,
one I can hit.
real quick, I just want to ask a quick question. Rayven, how happy are you that you joined tonight's show?
I am thrilled to pieces. I'm having a grand old time. I'm sorry that I'm such a bad influence.
I know. You're like, it's a Friday night. It'll be wild. And then she's like, God, these guys are idiots. I didn't get that through DMs. I just didn't get that. But they're really idiots. Yeah.
She was like, you want me to be on the show? That sounds fun. Oh, look, she's got her own little lightsaber
there going on. Nice. Pete,
I'm ready.
Pete, we have another guest.
We do. Hey, I'm surprised anybody would dial in at this moment.
I am.
I know.
Before we bring up that guest, let's bring up just some of the fan casting because I think it's been great. We've had Willem Dafoe.
Thank you.
We've had Taylor Gray.
Yes.
We've had Jamie Chung, who I never heard of until now, but now she's my favorite choice for Sabine.
Looks like a great pick.
Yeah. We have Ian Glenn.
Who gave us both of those? The one, this was definitely
this was Brandon.
Brandon gave us both of these, right?
We didn't let him talk much, but when he did, it was gold.
Here's why we didn't let him talk much, and I'll tell you why. He's our secret insider for the network.
Right.
And what happens is we're like, Brandon, you're going to come on, but we know that you know a lot of stuff, so I just need you to don't tell all the stuff. And then he starts to tell all the stuff. Like he just gave away 2 of the 3 actors that we've already confirmed will be in the next Rebels live action.
Right.
Show.
We can confirm right now.
So yeah, that's the issue with Brandon. So then we have to make him look like stupid for a while. And then
right. Taylor Gray, Jamie
really
Chung, and Ian.
How we show affection.
It's how we show affection. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
we're like your family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah. Did you say we have another guest?
Yeah. Bring him in.
Sure. Here's our next guest.
Best screen name ever.
Hi, Andy.
What's up, good people?
How you doing, Andy?
How you doing?
I have a couple fan cast suggestions.
All right.
Oh, I thought he's doing his own thing.
Well, we'll talk later, Josh.
You're in trouble, Josh.
Yep.
I didn't want to do this in public. No. Okay. So first of all, Rebels, I think would be better animated. Okay. I couldn't agree more with what Jackson said. My 2 younger kids absolutely love Rebels. One of my daughter's favorite Star Wars people is the boy with blue hair, and I want for them to be as excited about new Star Wars content as I am, and they would not be as excited about Rebels live action as they would be animated. And so if Star Wars is for everybody, I want to keep those young kids engaged too. Not everything has to be live action for an adult like me. Mm-hmm. So I appreciated what Jackson said because my 2 youngers would be right in line with another season of animated Rebels, and I'd be right there with them. We could enjoy that together. Fan cast wise, I've got 2 Thrawn ideas, and they are very different. But the first one is one of my favorite current actors, and he plays such a cool bad guy. He could be the think 3 steps ahead kind of guy. He can be physical and whip some butt. And we kind of saw that recently in Hobbs and Shaw. Yes, I'm talking about Idris Elba.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, which I
know
enough blue makeup.
Idris Elba as Thrawn.
Yes.
All right, he's got the accent. He's got the accent.
It's maybe not what you intended or thought of maybe originally, but he's cool. And to me, Thrawn has always been cool. Yeah. He is a cool customer who is almost likable in how mentally maneuverable he is. So
I love it because I think it would really I think he's got the tone for it. He's got the voice. He's got the demeanor. Yeah, I think that's a cool one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then my other Thrawn idea is more kind of a quiet, calculated psychopath kind of guy.
Like me.
No, that's Matt Harrington.
Not what I was thinking.
Okay.
Not exactly what I was thinking.
Close.
But
all right.
None other than Jesus himself, Jim Caviezel.
Whoa!
I love Jim. I love Jim. I love Jim.
And so he's a guy too that can play quiet, complex, and also can be physical. And he's kind of a taller dude too. He's like 6'4". And I don't know if that matters, but
hold on, Brandon, can you confirm that for us, please? Sorry, Brandon was always looking up heights and weights, so I was. I'm kidding.
I think he's a fairly sizable individual, as I recall.
Andy,
we just let that hang there. You guys realize that?
What's that? What?
I'm not looking it up. I'm not in the typing pool tonight.
No.
What do we need to know?
6'2". Ewok gives us 6'2".
The only thing I wonder though,
this is the greatest. It's just like having our own
most reliable fans in all of Star Wars.
At this point, we've created a show where we then employ our viewers to do our work for us. I don't know. This is a new dynamic and a new business proposition that I'm going to bring to somebody else with money.
Somebody with money. Yeah, this is the wrong place for that, my friend.
The only question I would have about Jim, I just want to throw this out there, is could you get him into Star Wars? Because Jim's got some pretty specific restrictions on what he will and won't do.
Yeah, he's a narrow focus.
I mean, delightfully narrow in his own way, but very narrow. I mean, I'd love to see him in so many things that I know he would just never do.
So what was that? What was that? Do you know the movie he played an ex-army bad guy? But he was like seriously, you didn't see it kind of coming. You thought he was at the beginning, but they made the whole movie about clearing his name, and then at the end, he actually was the psycho. I can't remember which one that was, but he was good in it.
I feel like I do know exactly which movie you're talking about. It was a long time ago, though, and that's why I'm like having trouble placing it. But it's he was a bad guy in that other movie too, with Jennifer Lopez. When he was her abusive ex-husband, he was a bad guy there too, which was quite terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember the other one, but it sounds really familiar. Like I'm sure I've seen it. And
Double Jeopardy.
Double Jeopardy.
Thank you, Matt Harrington. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, speaking of Matt, he's got
a guy in that. Yeah.
I have like a kind of a I was
person
struck with
of interest.
Yeah, another one that I just thought of that might be really good for Thrawn.
Count of Monte Cristo.
Well, yeah, he was great in Count of Monte Cristo. Yeah. What about this guy? Do you think perhaps no?
I don't know. He looks like a nice guy.
He looks like a nice guy. He really does. He looks a little.
I don't know. He's got a very punchable face. I don't know.
Well, yeah, nice guys are totally punchable.
Hold on, every face is punchable. But like, let's try this out. Perhaps.
He would make a better Eli Vanto, I think.
Yeah, Eli Vanto.
Perhaps. Grand Admiral. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
From a demeanor aspect, Nick would definitely fit the bill. You know, I can see Nick with his hands behind his back and not getting arrested just because he's
Grand Admiral Gator.
But
No, I see him as Eli. He's definitely an Eli Vanto type, I suppose.
Oh man. Guys, Andy, I'm so glad you joined us. I think I'd love to meet you in person. It'd be great.
Maybe someday when COVID lifts and we go have a beer together.
Maybe not. Let's not go that far. But let's. Do you have anything else you want to add before we force push your beanie ass out of here?
No, I do not. Other than give me more Star Wars Lego games.
Hey, all right.
The perfect video games. The perfect video games.
They really are. They really are.
He's a simple guy. All right, here we go. I mean, was that 8 minutes long that time?
I think it gets a little longer every time. Yeah,
it keeps every time we push him out. It's just look. I want to say I think this has been a great night.
I think so also.
Rayven, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, at this point,
do you regret it at all? I think that's an important question. Do you regret joining us for this evening?
Not at all.
All right, let me say this. I mean, your knowledge of just actors alone is phenomenal. You're like, but can you really do that? And I'm like, wait. She's Wikipedia this guy, like not while we were on the show, which is how me and Pete operate.
Right.
So
it's good to have somebody who knows what they're doing on the show.
I'm a book nerd, like hardcore. So I do a lot of learning. When I find out something I want to find out more about, I find out more.
Look, I'm more of a big picture guy, like a 30,000 foot up type of guy, like kind of like this room. That's the kind of guy I am. Every chance I get, I bring that guy in. I love it. Just from way the frick up here. Yeah, I bring him up here. Yeah, that's how it goes. Pete, what do you have to add? Anything else that you want to add? Like,
no, I do think what was cool, I think, was to get those different fan cast ideas. Those are always fun. It's fun to read them on Twitter, but to actually be able to like have the conversation and respond is just that's so much fun. And
we had some phenomenal recommendations, like
absolutely.
Some really good, like Willem Dafoe, and
like
then the other
John
guy
Tate, who will be on Around the Galaxy.
John, we're already Team John.
Like
We've already decided.
I think that's a good take. I think that's pretty good.
I think we can make it happen.
I think that's pretty good. So make sure to like, subscribe, share, tell all your friends about us. We're at the Beyond the Blast Doors Network on YouTube, and you can find Pete at where can you find you, Pete?
You can find me at ATGcast on Twitter, and you can find me on Around the Galaxy on Tuesday nights. This upcoming Tuesday, Stephen Ford, the actor, the producer, the guy who's he was on Teen Wolf on MTV. He now runs a YouTube channel called The Sender. He's done some really great stuff, and he's a big Star Wars nerd and video game nerd. So we're gonna have a really fun conversation live on Tuesday night.
That sounds like a lot of fun. And Pete, will you use that voice the entire time?
If you'd like me to, I can probably use that voice like this as well. Yeah.
Perfect. Rayven, we know that you're doing some phenomenal stuff over where you're doing stuff. I don't know where you live. Tell us all about that.
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Jenabella J, but you can also find me on Sisters with Sabers. And we do a lot of this kind of stuff, except we need a fire hose on occasion.
Yeah, well, so does Pete. And
Josh, where can we find you?
No, literally.
Well, thank you for the handoff, Pete. You can find me on the Holochronicles YouTube and podcast show, and at Holochronicles on Twitter and YouTube, at Beyond the Blast Doors on YouTube. I mean, I'm part of the Beyond the Blast Doors network.
Sure you are.
I don't want to brag, but that's where I'm part of.
Yeah, no, you are.
So, yeah, and I want to thank everyone in the chat for joining us. I love a Friday night. Look, I give up time with no one. It's COVID to be with you, and I appreciate that. But I would not want to be with anyone else but you guys, and it's so much fun to just sit in here and I don't know. This was a good time. I think we should probably do it longer, but then I think I shouldn't do it anymore because I'm almost done with this beer.
Yeah. You know what? There's always next Friday. There's always next Friday. We can do this again. If you guys are around, I say we do it again. Let's do it next Friday.
Yep.
I'm in.
All right.
And thank you to all that participated. And stay tuned for next week when we get together on a Friday night and do stuff like force pushing your asses out of here. Now let's do it to us now, Pete. Hit it.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Beyond the Blast Doors Force Connect. To keep up with this show and all the shows on the Beyond the Blast Doors network, please visit www.beyondtheblastdoors.com. Follow us on Twitter at BTBDnet. Please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/beyondtheblastdoors. For as little as $5 a month, you will support this and all the shows on the Beyond the Blast Doors network. Make sure to check out beyondtheblastdoors.com and click on our merch link for all of the latest and exclusive merchandise from Beyond the Blast Doors. Use promo code ForceConnect for 10% off your order. So until next time, may the Force be with you. Roger, Roger.